Hi everyone again. If I've seen you yesterday and you are here, hi. Um, Anyways, this product selection has been like a hot topic by a lot. This product selection has been like a hot topic by a lot of different sellers. And today session, actually, I'm going to be talking about the use cases of Product Opportunity Explorer as well as Marketplace Product Guidance. So actually, before I start, I just want to see how many of you have heard of Product Opportunity Explorer but have not used it yet. Oh, you guys have all used Opportunity Explorer before? Then how many of you have used Marketplace Product Guidance? Okay, just a few at the back. But anyways, hopefully this session will be insightful. Let me skip that. So this is just like a brief agenda of what I'll be covering today. I'll be bringing you through like the full journey of what are the things that you need to take note of and how can you better use all these tools during each of the phases, as you can see over there. I'll be sharing some exciting, news on what's upcoming for the tools as well. And also, again, some resources that we have prepared to help you research on what to sell. Okay. So this is the overarching journey of what you need to take note of across the three segments. So first and foremost, how do you decide what to sell? This is basically applicable for sellers who do not have a product or existing seller who are finding new products to sell or expand your product line. So first and foremost, I'll be going through like Marketplace Product Guidance as well as Opportunity Explorer. How are you going to understand like what are the top line popular demands that are up and coming that you need to take note of? And how can you further narrow down into the subcategories that you should dive further into? Then the next segment would be, how can you decide what kind of product should you develop and how can you develop a unique selling point for your product, right? You basically using our niche data, as well as after that, how do you analyze whether your product is profitable or not? How do you better use your revenue calculator and the insights that we give you in order to calculate your margins? And lastly, how can you optimize your advertising and listing further if you have already launched your product? And after that, let's say if you have already sell well in the US, is there a potential for you to sell even better in EU or UK and any other marketplaces? Okay, now for the first part. So this is the Category Insights tool, which you can access through Growth and then Marketplace Product Guidance. This actually gives you a broad overview of which item type keywords is actually doing well in different Amazon stores, right? So I'm not too sure if the screen is too small for like the people at the back. Essentially, you'll be able to select the store name on the left side. Then you can select categories, the product type, and the item type keywords. Then if you scroll all the way down, it will show you all these matrix that you can see, which I briefly summarized in the yellow box over here. Okay, so you'll see the different bar lengths. That essentially will tell you what is the marketplace demand for that product. So the longer, the better, essentially. Yeah. Okay, so another way you can find what is the hot demand categories would be through Product Opportunity Explorer. And in fact, you can find it in the dashboard of the Product Opportunity Explorer itself. And over here, I would just like to highlight the three key parts. Let's say if you're already an existing seller with like sales already, at the first portion, they'll recommend niche. For categories that you're already selling in, they'll recommend you different products that you can potentially sell in as well. Then the second section, it will tell you what are the increasing searches by customers. And at the last section, it will be the products where we find opportunities where you can improve this quality. And how do we recommend you that? It's based on the customer review insights. Okay. So after that, after you roughly know what categories you want to sell in, this is just a summary of like the different use cases that I'll be going through more in depth, depending on which objective you want to achieve. I mean, if you want to do your product selection, you can use all these use cases to decide what you want to sell. So during this section, I'll actually be using one of the examples that I highlighted here, which will be, I think, the window panel something. I can't really see the word, it's a bit small. Okay, I think this is the page where you can start taking photos because the other one is not very insightful. So first and foremost, how do you find out which product or which niche actually has high search volume, yet the competition is not too high. So using the window panels as an example, I actually search for it within Opportunity Explorer. The two key metrics that you can focus on will be search volume as well as the number of top click products, right? For you to better analyze this entire page, usually I'll recommend sellers to hit the download button so you'll be able to see it in an Excel format. So usually through the Excel format, I'll use like the data skills or conditional formatting in order to rank the different customer needs so that I'll be able to see it easily. If let's say this customer need is all green, there's a likelihood that it's a not bad selection. Okay, this is one way you can look at it. So through this method, I actually shortlisted 3 subcategories, which is curtain rod, snow drilling, rod brackets, and also curtain rod, that have over 1 million search volume and also about like 30 and below top click products. So probably there's not a lot of like top products that are selling. Maybe there's a chance for me to go into it. Right. So the next one is if I want to find a selection that is growing, right? Because I don't want to be launching in a product that is already saturated, too many sellers are selling, the trend is going down, probably nobody's going to buy. You know, last time fidget spinner is like hot for a period of time. Then maybe now if you want to start selling, maybe it's not the right time because there's no growth anymore. So the key matrix over here that I would like you to focus on would be search volume as well. Then the next one would be search volume growth, right? Again, you can download the Excel sheet, formulate it. You can set your own benchmark as to how much growth you are looking at in order for you to go into this category. So based on like the matrix that I highlighted, I actually shortlisted curtain rod, snow drilling, and magnetic curtain rod simply because their search volume is above 1 million. If you see the rest, there are a couple which has 90,000. If the market size of this niche is only 90,000 people searching for it, I don't think you'll even earn much, even if the search, if the growth of this category is 10%. I mean, 10% of 90,000 is quite low, right? So that's something that you have to take into consideration, which is why I also look at the search volume. So both matrix are important. Okay, so the next one would be average selling price and also search volume. So how this is helpful? Let's say if you want to sell a product that is above $20, right? Because usually, let's say if you want to earn healthier margin, usually the average selling price, I mean, the healthy one will be between 20 to 30, and it really depends on which category you want to sell. So let's say if you have a target price that you want to sell in, you want to see whether there's a chance for your product to go in within this price band, you can actually filter by it through the filter results section, which is at the top left corner of Opportunity Explorer. Then again, after that, you can filter by search volume in order to simply see at one glance which are the products that are within, let's say, $15 that have high search volume. So over here, I shortlisted like 3 products. Okay, so the last one would be annualized opportunity niche, which I think is really very useful. So sellers always tell me, hey, I want to earn 20,000 a month, right? So first and foremost, you need to know whether there's enough demand for your product to even earn 20,000. So how to find that out? You'll need to filter by the price band, and also you'll need to roughly put in how many units you expect to sell. So let's say I put an example over there, let's say if your average price is $15, then you're expected to sell maybe 1K units in a year, you'll be able to earn $15,000. So let's say if you have a $15,000 goal, I set that filter, these are the niche that give me the opportunity to earn at least $15,000, okay? So that's for the shortlisting part. So going deeper into niche data, I'll be using curtain rod snow drilling specifically to give you this example. And the reason why I chose this is because their search volume is over 1 million. They actually have high search volume growth, which is over 100%, which is pretty good. The top click product is only 28, means, okay, there's probably opportunity for you to do something different. It's not that competitive, right? And the third one is the average unit sold is between 2,500 to 3,000. It meets my 15,000 annual goal. And the average price is roughly $15. Average price is just like a rough gauge for you. Let's say if you want to sell something at a premium Of course, you can sell something at $20, right? But you just have to justify for it. But 15 as an average price, it's an okay thing for me to start with. So it's really based on your business goals. So assuming that these are my business goals, I'll be using this to further deep dive into this specific niche. Okay, so within the particular niche page, within the Opportunity Explorer, there are multiple tabs that you can look at. So the first one will be the Products tab. So it essentially shows you what are the top purchased products within this particular niche. So immediately you'll be able to find out who are your top competitors that are taking up a higher click share. So I've hidden like a couple of like information here, but when you search for a particular niche and click into it, you'll be able to find out more information about the product. Like for instance, I mentioned click share, how much are their Amazon fees, what are their click count, in order to benchmark yourself against your competitor. So the next one will be the Insights tab. Over here, there are many other metrics, but the key 3 ones I want to highlight would be firstly, the percentage of products using sponsored product. So in this case, I think it is 82%. So it is okay, I guess. It's not 100%. That means maybe there's an opportunity for you to launch a product which has opportunity for you to run more product visibility. It's less competitive when you run keyword bidding, right? And the next one would be percentage of prime products. Okay, so this one is really important because sellers always ask me, I don't really want to start with FBA. I want to do like seller fulfilled first. If you look at your niche and more than 90% of the top products are using FBA, you better use FBA. If not, people won't buy your products. Why would people wait 2 weeks to get your product when they can buy something similar and receive it within 2 days, right? So this is a sign for you to try out FBA. And the third one would be the click share of this particular product. So based on the data seen in the slide, the top 20 products click share is 89.9%. So I would say it's quite competitive because it's dominated by the top products, right? So in order to see whether you have an opportunity, first and foremost, product innovation will be very important if you want to sell this particular product, which I'll teach you later on. How can you innovate your product? Okay, so the next one will be the Trends tab. There are a few other metrics that you can actually add on for you to analyze this chart better. So this chart actually shows you the trailing 12 months of the trend of this particular product. What's good about this? Firstly, you'll be able to know when your product is trending, when you need to launch your product. So from what I see over here, I think from May onwards, the trend is going upwards, right? Whereas it's rather down during the Q4 period, which is like October to December. So this means this might be a product that's more popular during like maybe the summer period. So you will need to launch your product in March or April for you to catch the peak season. Again, this is also a good way for you to do your inventory planning, because some people always ask, how much do I need to inbound, right? So considering the uplift of the line, you can take the average uplift percentage. You can roughly plan how much inventory you need to inbound as well. So this one would be the Customer Review Insights, which is my favorite tab, because this essentially tells you how can you better improve your product and introduce something new to the market, right? So there's 2 segments. The first one would be positive reviews, then the second one will be negative reviews. It tells you within this particular niche, what are the top few comments, positive comments about this product. From what I hear from some sellers, last time they used to manually scrape it. Okay, now you do not have to do it manually. You can get the full summarized version within the niche page. Okay, it will tell you, for instance, over here it says the ease of use is 12%. So hey, maybe for the product that you come up with, functionality or ease of use is super important. Maybe you need to have an installation manual that is easier to read. On the other hand, negative review is even more important because these are the gaps that are, I would consider this the unmet demand. So if people are complaining about existing product, if you can come up with something that tackles all this negative review, this is actually a space for you to go into the market, even though it's like so competitive and already like maybe there's already top 20 sellers. If you're able to like come up with something new that will be able to answer like the negative review, this is like best. So in this case, durability, functionality, and also I think paint. They complain about the paint because the curtain rod, right, is like scraping off the paint of their walls. So I mean, if you can come up with something that doesn't scrape off the paint, that would be best. Okay, so the next one would be analyzing the product profitability. I'm not sure if everybody knows, there's this thing called the revenue calculator. So you can search it on our website, sell.amazon.com.sg, or you can also Google for it, the Amazon revenue calculator. So there's two ways for you to use it. Be it you're a new seller or existing seller, you can use this tool. You can find an existing product that's similar to something that you want to sell. You can search by the title or the ASIN, if you know the ASIN. On the other hand, let's say, okay, so this portion, there are two different segments. One will tell you how much Amazon fulfillment will cost. The other one will tell you how much your own fulfillment will cost. So I'll just mainly focus on the Amazon fulfillment part, okay? So the few key things that everybody has been talking about, referral fee, fulfillment cost, storage cost, will automatically be populated for you once you indicate the dimension and all the ASIN information. But what's even more important over here, please remember to put in how much your goods actually cost. Also include how much your shipping to US costs, and also other miscellaneous costs. So miscellaneous costs are things like what is potentially your return rate, and also what is your potential advertisement spend, which are highlighted in the slide. And where do you find all these metrics? The return ratio and advertisement spend, you can find it within category insight, which is the earlier page that I showed. Yeah. Okay. So this is a summary of how I actually use the niche data. So on top of what I found earlier on in the first segment, I know that I have to launch this product with FBA. Ideally, this product should launch in March so that I'll be able to catch the summer peak season. This product definitely needs to be easy to install. Ease of use must be good quality, that's a must. To improve, like I mentioned, if you can come up with a product that don't chip the wall paint, that would be best. Okay, so these are the things that you can take note of. Okay, so moving on to the next tab, which is something that I did not talk about in the niche data earlier on, would be the search term tab. So some sellers will ask me, how do I optimize my listing further? What keywords should I use for my advertising campaigns? So this is where you can get the top search term for the particular niche that you want to sell. So over here, there are a few key metrics I would like to highlight. So the first one would be search volume. Second one is the search volume growth. Third one is the search conversion rate. Okay, let me stop here for now. So over here, this actually tells you how many people are actually searching for this keyword. And how is the search term of this keyword growing, right? So if it's a growing keyword, of course, invest in them. And how I analyzed it, similarly, I export into an Excel sheet. So at one glance, I'll be able to see based on the color which one has higher search volume, which one has higher search volume growth. Then after that, you can shortlist these search terms to include in your listings, the search term field, as well as put it in your manual advertising campaign as well. Okay. Then the last matrix, which is the top 3 click product. So what's cool about this is that you'll be able to know how to target your competitor listing, right? All these top click products, if it's really something similar to what you're selling, the price band is similar, and if you believe that your product is better than this product, you can target your competitor listing. Basically, use product targeting. Okay, so it will show you the ASIN, which you can populate it and put it back into your advertising campaign itself. Apart from Opportunity Explorer, you can also use Brand Analytics, which maybe we can cover it in a community event in November, how you can use that. Yep. Okay, so this segment, I will be talking about how you can find popular ASINs that you're currently selling to cross-launch into other Amazon stores. So I believe not many of you have heard about this tool called Marketplace Product Guidance. You can actually easily find it under the Growth tab within Seller Central. So what this does is, Amazon considers over 600 matrices in order to come up with this thing called opportunity score that's ranged between 750 to 1,000. So let's say if you're ASIN, the opportunity score is 1,000 in Germany. Of course, you need to launch, which I'll explain later on. Okay. Anyway, the recommendations, as you can see over here, is refreshed on a bi-weekly basis. So you can also check back on a bi-weekly or monthly cadence to see whether there are recommendations for you to sell in other Amazon stores as well. Okay, so this is where you can access marketplace product guidance, and the reason why I highlight this is because a lot of you haven't heard of this and haven't tried this before. So there are actually 3 different ways for you to access this tool. Firstly, it's under growth, then marketplace product guidance. The second one is under inventory, sell globally, then marketplace product guidance, which is a bit tougher. Then the easiest way to find it is within your Seller Central dashboard. So when you first log in, there's a module called Global Product Demand. So you can click directly into that. Okay, so who can have access to marketplace product guidance, and when will you be recommended? So these are the eligibility criteria. Basically, you need to have made a sale in the US in the last 12 months, because we need like your sales data to populate you even more data. And you need to be subscribed to the professional selling plan, similar to Opportunity Explorer. Then the next one would be the ASIN sold currently must have a demand in the targeted store that you want to sell in, which, yeah. So that one will be populated internally by Amazon, then we'll let you know. Then the second one, the ASIN should be FBA active, which I believe most of you should be on FBA. And the third one, just need to take note that the recommendations won't be available for certain product categories like groceries. Okay, so these are the 2 key tools you'll be able to find under Marketplace Product Guidance. So the first one, which I will be explaining further, is called Global Demand for your product. The second one is Category Insights, which I already talked about it at the very front already, so I won't highlight that anymore. Okay, so this is how the global demand for your products page will look like. As you can see on the top right corner, there is a tutorial. So if you do not know how to use after this session, you can click into the video in order to find out more. Then at the first orange box, you'll be able to see the different Amazon stores. So let's say if your ASIN is popular in Germany, or in this case, Japan and Italy as well, it will show up there. If let's say your ASIN has no demand in those stores, it will not show up. So for new sellers, please be patient. Maybe wait after the first year, then you check back and see whether you are recommended. Okay, so over here at the bottom, it will show you the tab for ASINs new to target store. So what this means is, if your ASIN is totally new, there's nobody selling similar ASINs in, let's say, Germany. So over there, it will show you many other matrices like the opportunity score. So like I mentioned, if let's say your opportunity score is like 1,000, you definitely need to try selling it within that category. And there are many other matrices which I will not dive in further this time around. So the second one would be, let's say you are reselling a particular ASIN, or let's say in another Amazon store there's someone reselling your product or selling something similar. So over here, basically we will be able to give you even more data. So if you can see at the bottom, you'll be able to see the similar ASINs dashboard. If let's say there's already a similar ASIN that's already selling, these are the different data that we will be able to show you. The units sold, what are the different trends, what is the conversion like, so you'll be able to know, calculate your demand also, what's the buy box, and etc. Many other matrices. And you'll be able to see across the different window period, 7 days, 30 days, 90 days, and also 12 months. So you'll be able to toggle accordingly. Okay, so even better. So let's say you want to, after you see like that your product is popular on Germany, you want to know how to get started, just scroll all the way to the bottom. There will be the nitty-gritty steps that tells you how you can get started over here. Of course, let's say if you want to start selling in EU or UK, we do have an account manager here that will be able to help you, assist you on that. Okay, so let me share some use cases. So there's this person called Rocky. They are selling well in the US, but they are wondering how their products will do well in other countries. So how can you find that out? Basically, you can use marketplace product guidance and filter accordingly. Maybe you can take a quick picture over here. Okay, then the next one would be, let's say I want to know which products do well on the US store because I want to expand my catalog. I'll recommend you to use the category insights to shortlist your categories, like I mentioned, all the way at the top. So this is how you can do it. Select the store that you want to expand into or you want to sell and review the data below. Okay, let me just talk quickly about why you should use marketplace product guidance. So many of the sellers that have used this, actually not a lot, so we are encouraging you guys to use this and let us know how it works. For those sellers that actually use it, found that it's actually very accurate for them to drive more revenue. So over here it says 6 times the potential sales revenue that they can add, and they have a higher chance of earning a sale. So let's say if you are recommended, just go for it and try it out. Okay, so this is what's upcoming for Opportunity Explorer. It's called the Customer Review Insights and Returns Insights. So what's different from the existing Customer Review Insight? It will be able to give you more granular data into what are the customers talking about this particular product. So over here, it says that this tent, the review, it says that it's weatherproof, right? The top 22 mentions says that it's weatherproof. So of which some of the people are saying that it's not windproof, right? So maybe that is something that you need to prioritize, specifically windproof. And on the other hand, which is also one of the very common questions, where am I having product returns, right? What is the reason of product returns? I can't reach out to my seller is not responding. So we have consolidated this under the niche page. So we'll tell you the reason behind why products are being returned by customers so that you'll be able to better innovate your product and come up with something better for your customers. Okay, let me just quickly show you this. This is something similar that I've shown yesterday as well. So if you need additional tips on what to sell on Amazon, please scan and bookmark this page. I'll leave this here for a few seconds. Okay, and last thing I need to highlight quickly before I pass my time on would be the November Seller Meetup. So if you like this session, and if you are based in Singapore, come for our November Seller Meetup, and there will be a hands-on practical workshop on how you can use these tools. We have training sessions there. Maybe I'll share more about how you can use brand analytics in order to optimize further as well. So please sign up and RSVP for this session if you haven't already done so.